So petrol, food, car insurance, you name it, it's all going through the roof. Is it keeping you awake at night? Are you worrying about it? Well, let's talk it through. What does the cost of living mean? Well, to me, it means every cost that you're incurring on a day-to-day basis. When those keep going up and everything keeps increasing, then that means you're going to get less money to spend. But it also means that any savings that you've got are going to be devaluing. They're going to be going down in value. They're not worth as much anymore. So what can you do about it? What things can you do? And let's talk about how we can get those things into your everyday finances. Two things. First of all, what direct debits have you got going out on a monthly basis that you have forgotten about? You know, that magazine subscription that you signed up to thinking, great, you know what I'm going to do every Sunday morning? I'm going to read that magazine on my phone, iPad, Surface, whatever it happens to be, and you've never ever done it. But that subscription's still going out. So why not cancel the direct debit and use that money to something that you do want to do? The other thing to think about is cashback. Bank accounts quite often now give you cashback on spending at certain shops, stores, online, all of that stuff. But you have to make sure before you've spent the money, you have to make sure you've signed up to that cashback. If you don't sign up to the cashback, funny enough, guess what? You don't get it. So if you sign up in advance, go, yeah, I'm going to go and buy from Waitrose, Tesco's, Asda, wherever it happens to be, and then it gives you 5% back, that's money in your pocket for doing absolutely nothing. You know that your car insurance is coming up for renewal. Well, are you just going to accept the renewal from your current provider? Why not use one of the comparison sites? It takes you 10 minutes maybe to put your details in, and then it will give you a list of providers together with the insurance premium that you might need to pay if you decide to sign up with them. Why is that important? Well, the first renewal that you're going to get from your insurance company is likely to be either above what you could get somewhere else, or it's going to be about what you can get somewhere else. But without shopping around, you're not going to know that. So you need to make sure you shop around, look at things in advance and go, okay, I can do that. It's all about planning and shopping around. So budgeting, why is it important in this environment about managing rising cost of living? Well, first of all, you've got a fixed amount of income. Believe it or not, you'll be either an employee or something like that. You can't increase your income overnight. It's not going to happen. So you need to manage your costs. That's all about budgeting, because ultimately, if you don't know what costs you're going to spend, how can you budget? How can you go, well, hold on a minute, my electric's coming up this month. I need to make sure that I reduce that because I've heard about this 50% increase in electric prices because the cap's gone a bit stupid. What am I going to do about it? Well, budget. Comes back to it. That's all I can say. Budget. I know, boring, but hey, budget. And another boring accountant thing to do, check your tax code. Tax codes are allocated by Her Majesty's Revenue and Customs, and they define how much tax you're going to pay on a weekly, monthly basis. Why are they important? Well, HMRC, Her Majesty's Revenue and Customs, don't always get your tax code right. They can get things wrong. And when they do, you might not spot it. So you need to make sure that your tax code is being monitored, that it's being checked. If it's anything different to 1256, then that probably means that you've got either a benefit or something else has gone wrong. If it's that something else has gone wrong and you don't know about it, then you need to contact Her Majesty's Revenue and Customs. And I know it's a pain in the neck and they're not easy to get hold of, and you will be sat on hold for about an hour. If you get hold of somebody and you sort your tax code out, that could mean that you're going to get a tax refund, or more importantly, you'll be able to make sure that your income is correct on a monthly, weekly basis and enable you to much more deal with an increase in expenses. So we know that we're going to incur costs on an ongoing basis. We know that's what happens. People charge us for doing stuff, electric, gas, whatever it happens to be. So what can you do about those costs? Well, why not share them? So you could be in a shared household and you go, right, hold on a minute. I'm going to pay my electric because that's what I'm going to do. Well, if you shared that amongst 5 of you, you consider getting in a lodger if you're struggling with electric costs, using a spare bedroom that's not used very often. And then you can then bring in your income as well as managing the costs and sharing that amongst the number of people that you've got. Now, you might be a bit worried that that income that you're going to get suddenly becomes taxable and you've got to do this thing called a tax return. Oh, that's all very grown up and I don't really want to do that. But there is something called a rent-a-room scheme. Now, that means that your income that you will probably receive from renting that room is tax-free. That's right, you're not going to have to pay tax on that money, and that not only means that you increased your income, you've shared your costs, but you've also managed to deal with the rising cost of living. Now, if you're fortunate to have savings, then what happens when you've got a rising cost of living? That money is sat in a bank account and it's earning interest, maybe. If it's not earning interest, it's not working for you. If it's not working for you, the value of it is reducing. So what do you need to do about that? Well, you need to speak to, a financial advisor, somebody to talk through your options. What can you do to maximise the value coming from that savings? You've worked really hard to get those savings, really hard. They're really difficult to build up. But if you don't make them work for you, what's the point of having them? There's no point in having, for instance, a business overdraft and having masses of savings. You're paying interest on one bit and you're not getting anything the other way. Why not pay off the overdraft? Get rid of it, make the money work for you rather than it working for somebody else. At the end of the day, the thing to say is it's all about you, not about anybody else. So with costs increasing, we all want to try and manage those costs. So why don't you look at our previous video about 5 personal finance books that have helped me manage my finances.